Hi there everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Welcome to my Zero stamping series for the month of August. I missed July, and I think I probably missed June. I apologize. If you didn't know, back in June I have a disc rupture in my back, and I basically spent 6 weeks in wheelchair, unable to move. And I will be having surgery on October 8th. So I've been doing physical therapy and stuff, so I'm able to get around a little bit better. I've been posting videos that I filmed forever ago, but now I'm ready to get back into card making. I'm trying to get ahead, that way while I'm gone on my surgery, you guys don't miss anything, but you guys will see those as we move more into September, October, November, December. So today I'm going to be using the Club Echo Park kit that I unboxed, and if I remember, I will leave that on the inside. If you click on any of those images on the inside, it'll take you to either to the video or a place where you can subscribe to either of my channels. I've been focusing on the Planning with the Elf channel, but I honestly think I'm going to do away with that. But I'll talk about that in an update video that I hope to film that will go up at some point in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be using the cardstock stickers, the 6x6 paper pad, the enamel dots, the frame and tags, and then the chipboard accents. And then, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to make 10 cards. I'm going to be using Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Mint Macaron, Coastal Cabana, and Melon Mambo cardstock from Stampin' Up. I used to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I love their cardstock. I love the weight of it, and these are the colors that really go with this kit. I wish I had some balmy blue, but I don't. There is a bit of like a Pacific Point, and you may see me bring some other papers in, but these are going to be my card bases. And today, all of my cards are going to be portrait style cards. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to show you how I start this out mass producing. So first thing I'm going to do is move some stuff right out of the way. So I'm going to be making standard A2 size cards, which are either 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or 4 1/4. So today I'm going to be making some standard size cards. All of them are going to measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. And today I'm going to be portrait style cards. So the score line is going to be at 5 1/2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my piece of cardstock and my bone folder. I'm going to go ahead and score all these at 5 1/2 before I cut. That way they're already scored after I cut, and that's one less step that I have to do. So instead of having to score 10 separate cards, all I have to do is cut 5 cards and they're already scored. And this is a Teflon bone folder. I picked this up from Amazon. If I can, I will link down below. If you are interested in this kit, I think it's echoparkclub.com, but you can go to echoparkpaper.com. That is their official website, and you'll see at the top where it says Club EP. I believe the next one will be in September. It is $29.99, and you saw everything that I got minus the 12 by 12 paper. I mean, talk about a kit that is worth your money. Now would be a good time to sign up. I have a feeling that September will be fall, and then November will be Christmas. I kind of hope September is Christmas, but we'll see. Okay, now that I've scored all of my card bases, I'm going to line them up at 4 1/4. And now I have 2 perfectly scored card bases. So I'm going to fast forward through the rest of this. So yeah, so voiceover Misty, take it away. Why, thank you, real-time Misty. Thank you so much. One thing that I did get wrong is I'm only sharing 5 cards today. If I shared 10, this would be double the amount. So what you're seeing me do here is I brought in 3 pieces of Whisper White so I could get 10 card layers. Some of this cardstock is light enough that you could write inside. I just like to finish off my cards on the inside with a piece of Whisper White. I just like the look of it. So yeah, so you're going to get 5 cards today, 5 cards on Wednesday, 5 cards on Friday. So yay! For a total of 15 cards. So anyway, so here I am going through the tags because I hadn't really looked at them since I bought the kit. Actually, I didn't even open them until I was making this video. And the one that stuck out to me was the ice cream one. So I decided I was going to use that one very, very first. The one issue with this kit is there's not really any kind of real sentiments. That's the one thing I love about Doodlebug with their odds and ends and their chit chats. The chit chats coordinate, and a lot of times they are sentiments that you can use. Sometimes they're kind of punny. Doodlebug's known for that. But that's the one thing I wish Echo Park did. And I know that they have another pack of ephemera that goes with this kit. With this collection. It just doesn't come in the kit. So anyway, I wanted this to bring in a little bit of this blue. And I thought the best way to do that would be with that branding strip. And then I guess it's not a branding strip, but the strip of paper at the top. And then I wanted to use this stripe. And I was like, I didn't know how. And so I went to my go-to layout. This has been my go-to layout. I think I made 2 of these cards last week with the pandas. But I like to put a piece of paper down the middle. It's normally 2 or 2.5 inches wide. And then whatever my other dimensions are. And so I just love that look. And whether I'm layering paper or if I'm just putting a strip down the middle, it really just depends. But I kind of enjoy that look. So anyway, I decided I wasn't going to do the blue down the middle. And I just went ahead and added this down the end. And ironically, I didn't even really end up with any blue on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the inside card layer with snail. I'm just using snail for all of these cards today, I believe. And then I'm bringing in an ice cream cone from that Cardstock Elements collection. And I brought in the ice cream truck too. And I'm going to adhere that. I'm going to add an enamel dot. I'm going to add some shimmer shimmer. And that's it. That's it for this card. Super simple, no die cutting, nothing. This is a card that literally could take, 5 minutes to make. And I think it turns out really, really, really cute. Okay, so for card number 2, this is the back of that green paper, I believe. And I love Bomb Pops. I've always loved Bomb Pops. I love the regular Bomb Pops, and I love the chocolate banana Bomb Pops. They do sell the regular Bomb Pops in sugar-free. So sometimes I will have them, and I love popsicles. I love snow cones. I just love it all. So I was really drawn to this paper, but it's kind of overwhelming. So I brought in the Melon Mambo card base, and I knew I wanted to add this piece of yellow because I love yellow and pink together. And then I brought in a piece of navy because I felt like I needed a neutral, and I wanted to pull some of that blue out of the pattern paper. I adhered all those together, added some dimensionals to the back of this tag. You see me cutting them up because I don't waste. Excuse me. I need a drink. Let me get a drink real quick. And then I go to put an enamel dot. Oh, I was deciding if I wanted to add any Misty popsicles on the outside. So here I go to do the inside of my card, and I realize I put it upside down. So this can be a challenge, but I carefully lifted it up, put some more adhesive on it, and turned it over. Like I've mentioned a ton in the past, I craft in real life. Things happen. I try not to cut out mistakes because I want you guys to see that I make mistakes too. I wish more crafters would share mistakes rather than just trying to, provide a perfectly edited video, because I want you guys to know that you can recreate these too. You don't even have to have anything special other than some paper and a way to cut it and some adhesive. Anybody can make this. Even a brand new beginner can make this. And you can pick up all your supplies at your local craft store or Amazon. So I went ahead and decided to add 2 of the popsicles on the inside. And of course, being Misty, you can't see them. So for card number 3, I really wanted to use this sentiment kind of bracket and the other tag with the floral. Such a pretty floral. Echo Park does really pretty florals. So I really wanted to use that yellow, and this is my design process. This is how I do it. I just go through And then finally, I decided I wanted more of that red, and I felt like I needed to bring in that mint macaron color. So I switched to a mint macaron backdrop. I cut the blue paper, the plaid or gingham, down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I honestly can't remember. I go back and forth between the two. And I decided to cut this little yellow red piece. It's 4 inches wide by, it's 4 by 2 basically. And so I decided to go ahead and adhere that to the card. I love that pop of red. You guys know I love red and mint or red and aqua. Some of my favorite colors, especially for Christmas, which we're coming to soon. But I still wanted that pop of yellow because there is yellow in the center of the daisies. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the middle like I do. But I decided to bring in a strip of the red rather than using that other red layer. So I honestly really love this. And the great thing about these two patterns is, although they're both gingham, one is very large and one is medium. And I could have even gotten away with using one more pattern. But to me, the floral was the third pattern for me. So here I am doubling up on some foam tape on the back of the bracket because I really wanted it to stick out from the back. And I'm going to add on a couple of enamel dots to be like the brads in a bracket. And then I found this little red floral on the cardstock elements, the cardstock stickers, and I'm just going to add that at the bottom. And that is card number 3. Love, 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 love. This is probably one of my favorites. So for card number 4, I'm going to be working with Coastal Cabana backdrop and this stripe paper. I was like, I don't care what I do, I'm using this stripe paper because it's adorable and it reminds me, like, it just fits this pattern paper or this collection very, very well. So cutting this down, and how I cut this depends on the pattern on the back. As you can see to the right, the back of this pattern is the food trucks. So I'm cut this to make sure that the B side or the A side, whatever you want to think about it, is still usable. I don't want to cut it so I can't use the scrap pieces, because that's the one thing about these Zero Stamping Series is I try to use the entire pad. So I'm bringing in the chipboard stickers for the first time, and I'm using this kind of popsicle stand and then this hello sticker. And then I went back and forth on what else I wanted to add. And so I brought in these chipboard popsicles. Initially, I thought I was going to put them at the bottom of the card, but then I decided to put them, kind of stack them on the sides. And I really, 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 really love this. Now, you may or may not have to add extra postage to this. It may need to be hand canceled. It really will just depend, but you just, add an extra stamp or whatever that you need to do. And then for the inside, I just put down a white card layer, like I mentioned, and I brought in, that saying and a little bitty popsicle. So that is card number 4. Card number 5 is actually my favorite out of all 5. So I really love coral. If you've seen my craft room, if you've seen my master bedroom, I love coral. So I really loved this coral kind of salmon pink color that they had with the flamingos and this gingham. So I cut a piece at 1 inch to match, to coordinate with the paper. And then I decided to use that A Flamingo a Day Keeps the Winter Away, that sentiment strip that's on that pattern paper as my sentiment. So I'm using a oval die from MFT, and then I'm using a stitch rectangle die from Pink and Main. If I had thought that I was going to do this, I wouldn't have cut my layer so precise. I would have left me a little bit of room to cut it out, but it is what it is. It worked out. So I went ahead and adhered this flamingo. I was hoping I could use both, but I didn't. And then I'm going to trim down the sentiment strip. First, we're going to go ahead and adhere the flamingo with, what are those called? What's that called? foam strips. Holy brain, come on now. So I'm going to cut the Cinta strip out, and then I'm going to cut it in half. Again, I apologize that you can't see that, but I have to have it right in front of my face so I can see. So here I was playing with the layout because I had my flamingo a little too far down. So you'll see in a minute that I end up moving him up. Luckily, it wasn't stuck very hard, so it easily came up and I was easily able to move it. So I'm using the mini dimensionals from Stampin' Up! For the back of my sentiment here because I didn't want to have to worry about cutting the foam mount from Scotch into tiny pieces. So it took me a little bit to get this straight because I'm crooked as a jaybird. I've said that tons of times. But for the inside, I'm just going to add a Whisper White card layer and this flamingo tag, and that's going to be it. That's it for all 5 cards. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate you. I hope you got some tips on mass producing and zero stamping. You can make cards without having to get inky if you want to. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you go head over and watch my update video along with my other videos. Leave me a comment down below letting me know which one is your absolute favorite, and I'll see you on Wednesday for another episode in my Zero Stamping series. Bye for now.